Hi students, I'm here on the notes page for our week 6 series of lessons, and this is the beginning of our cells unit. And so in this page, I've got a bunch of notes with blanks. Let me show you what that looks like. So you can see that I've got like skeleton notes where I expect that you will fill in the blanks and answer the questions based on what the videos tell you. This is an important skill. All right, so I've given you some help here by giving you some skeleton notes, but these videos that I'm giving you provide a lot of good information, and they're really thick with it. So what I'd like you to do is, as you watch the videos, think about the blanks that are coming up so that you can fill them in when you watch the video. It's going to be really important that you pause the video to go fill in the blanks, because the next bit of information is going to come really fast. So I'm going to do a little bit for you to show you how I would do this and to give you some tips on how to be successful. So this first video is called The Wacky History of the Cell Theory. That's pretty straightforward. The answers come right toward the beginning of the video, and then the rest of the video is just some interesting stuff that I'd like you to listen to. But most of our notes for this week about what's inside a cell and what jobs they perform is in the second video, and you can see that the notes get pretty extensive at the bottom. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you. So you'll come here and you'll start this video. Say okay. And I'm going to make the video real smaller, even smaller than this, so that I can sort of keep track of what's in my notes while I'm watching the video. So set up your screen kind of like this, right? And down at the bottom, it's not very big, but you can see down here, I have my next bit of notes. And it's actually kind of the perfect size because I want to be focused on the things I'm looking for. For example, I've got down here number 1, 3 things that all cells have are. So, whoops, let me get my video back. Well, I'll get it back in a second. But that's what I'm looking for. So when I start the video, I know what I'm looking for. You know what might be even better is if I set up my OneNote page over to the side so I can click between them and not have to lose either one. Okay, see what I've done there? I've shortened my notes a little bit so that I can watch the video and still see and type what I need to. So this is a great way to set up your video, just like this. Okay, I'm going to start it knowing that I am looking for 3 things that all cells have are. I'm going to start it that way, knowing that's what I'm looking for. Right? So let's listen.
Cells are the smallest living units of an organism. All cells have 3 things in common, no matter what type of cell they are.
Here it comes.
All cells have a cell membrane,
That's one,
which separates the inside of the cell from its environment. Cytoplasm, which is a jelly-like fluid.
Cytoplasm.
And DNA, which is the cell's genetic material.
Okay, so those are the 3 things. Now, you might not remember how to spell cell membrane or cytoplasm because it went pretty fast. You can use this back button for 10 seconds to go back and see what the words are. So I'm going to go back to where it said cell membrane and pause it.
All cells have 3 things in common, no matter what type of cell they are. All cells have a cell membrane.
Okay, I can pause it right there so I can type cell membrane and see how to spell it. And then get ready for the next one.
Which separates the inside of the cell from its environment. Cytoplasm.
There it is. Cytoplasm is the next thing, so I'm going to type cytoplasm. And then the third thing,
which is a jelly-like fluid, and DNA, which is the cell's genetic material.
And DNA. Okay, then before you start the video again, read the next question so your brain is ready when it hears the answer. So it says the two main categories of cells are prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. What do eukaryotic cells have that prokaryotic cells do not have? So I'm going to get my cursor ready there, and I'm going to start the video again.
There are two broad categories of cells. The first category is eukaryotic cells. They have organelles, which include the nucleus and other special parts.
Okay, so eukaryotic cells have organelles. Organelles, which is another word for all those little tiny things floating around in that goo that you see in that picture. So when you're thinking of this, you should think about your own body, right? So we have one body. We have inside our body, we have a brain, we have a heart, we have lungs, we have a liver, we have, did I say heart? We have intestines. We have all those things inside our body, and I bet you know what we call those things. We call them organs. So when you think of a cell, you should think of it similarly to the way you think of your body, because a cell is a thing that has a lot of jobs that it carries out on the inside, and each of the things on the inside has a specific job. Just like on the inside of your body, you have a brain that has a specific job, and a heart that has a specific job, and lungs that have a specific job. And if you were missing any one of those organs, your body wouldn't be functioning well. In the same way, a eukaryotic cell has all these tiny little things called organelles that have jobs to do, like the organs inside your body. If any of those organelles were missing, the cell could not function properly. So in that example, just before I paused it, it gave an example of an organelle, and an example is a nucleus. Nucleus. There are lots more examples, and we're going to see those as we go forward. All right, I'm going to start the video again. This time I'm thinking of what types of organisms are made of prokaryotic cells. Maybe you noticed in the video just before this, it was telling us the two types of cells are eukaryotic and prokaryotic. Eukaryotic cells are much larger and have a bunch of stuff inside. Prokaryotic cells are much smaller and have far fewer things inside. So let's listen.
Eukaryotic cells are more advanced, complex cells, such as those found in plants and animals. The second category is prokaryotic cells.
Okay, I'm going to pause here a second. It looks like my questions are a little bit out of order. Question 4, what types of organisms are made from eukaryotic cells? Just said it. I'm going to go back. Let's do question 4 first.
Are more advanced, complex cells, such as those found in plants and animals.
Okay, what type of organisms are made from eukaryotic cells? Plants and animals. Hopefully you guys are doing this right along with me, or we'll pause this and go do it, and then you'll set up your own screen so you can finish. I'm only doing part of this right now, and then I'll set you to work on the rest of it by yourselves. So now let's go back to question 3. What types of organisms are made of prokaryotic cells?
The second category is prokaryotic cells. They don't have a nucleus or membrane-enclosed organelles. They do have genetic material, but it's not contained within a nucleus. Prokaryotic cells are always one-celled or unicellular organisms, such as bacteria.
Okay, so we'll call it, you can say unicellular if you want to do that. I'm just going to say single-celled organisms like bacteria. All right, so we're answering all the questions. The next thing we're looking for is, what does the word organelle mean? And then let's keep our ears open for this statement. Organelles are the blank parts of the cell that have unique blank to perform. Make that a little bit smaller. Okay, so what does the word organelle mean? And organelles are the blank parts of the cell that have unique blank to perform. listening carefully.
So, what are organelles? Organelle means little organ.
Ooh, there that is. Organelle means little organ. That should make sense, right? Because we were talking about the organs in our body. And so organelles are similar to the organs in our body. Okay, and now we're listening for this statement.
Organelles are the specialized parts of a cell that have unique jobs to perform.
There it is. Organelles are the... And now when you're filling in the blanks, notice if I just start typing, it's going to keep pushing everything over. Maybe that doesn't bug you. It bugs me a little bit. So what I usually do is select a good part of the blank so that when I type in it, it's just taking up that space. Here's how that looks. So I selected a big section of the blank and I say specialized. But I can still see that it's a blank. That's a good thing when you're looking back at your notes later, because usually the things that I put blanks under are important things for you to know. So it said in the video, organelles are the specialized parts of the cell that have unique, did you catch it? Unique jobs to perform. All right, so that's how you should use the video and the notes section together. We just did a little part of it. You still have this big section to finish. So those are the tips, right? You're going to put them side by side. You're going to keep pausing the video so that you can go fill in the blanks on the right side. And really important is to read ahead, maybe 2 blanks, so you know what you're listening for. And then make sure you pause the video. Don't be scared to go back a little bit and catch up, or if you missed something, don't be afraid to go back. And what I'd like you to do, it's pretty choppy as you're going through it, to stop and fill in, stop and fill in. So after you've got all your notes filled in, please go back and watch the whole video from start to finish without pausing it. You know, after you've taken the notes, it'll make a little more sense as you're going through it. And I absolutely love the illustrations in this video. When I was a kid, pictures of cells were always in a textbook and they always looked flat. You know, cells aren't like that at all. They are round or 3-dimensional in any case, and the things inside of them are floating around in a substance, and you can sort of see that in this video. And one more thing I want to point out. Maybe you are already thinking, students, of what you'd like to be when you grow up, what kind of job you'd like to have. Maybe you're thinking about science. I want to say that in southeast Minnesota, it is a great, great area to be in medicine or healthcare. We have a lot of good healthcare facilities and a lot of good medical research places. You could work at Hormel Institute in the research part. You could work at Mayo Clinic in the research facility, or you could work in healthcare as a nurse or a technician who maybe runs tests on people's hearts or assists in surgery, or maybe you learn how to do x-rays and CT scans. A lot of those things you can get all the foundation and sometimes all the education completed right at Riverland, which is great for us here in Austin and in the area of southeast Minnesota. But besides healthcare, there's a lot of other science jobs that are within your reach. Okay, even if you don't want to go to school for a really long time. And maybe you are someone who's interested in art or graphic design. This video that we're watching right now had to be made by somebody who was an artist, but they also had to know something about science in order to make the images look realistic and behave the way they actually do in real life. So this is something to consider as well. All right, students, I'm going to stop the video. I've been talking long enough, but there's a lot more for you to do, and I suggest you do it right now while this is fresh in your mind. And thanks for watching.